Hello and welcome back to the best rock songs of the 2000s. 2004 was a lot of fun. I swear, the songs just keep getting better every year, like, I'm not even joking. Pop punk and nu metal are pretty much dead at this point, and the main genres are post-grunge, butt rock, those two are pretty much interchangeable, emo/alternative rock, and some hints of garage rock here and there. That's all you need to know. We got 20 bangers to go through here, so let's do this. We're counting down the top 20 best rock songs of 2004. Number 20. Starting things off a little differently this time with a personal underrated gem of mine. Now this one's a grower. Snow Patrol are essentially known as a one-hit wonder here in America with their Grey's Anatomy core track Chasing Cars. Run, however, is where I truly think they shine. Oh, and also Chocolate, which is like my favorite song by them ever. The guitar chords here in this song seem unsure, which contrasts beautifully with the singer Gary Lightbody's affirming words, especially when the chorus kicks in. You're whisked away to this magical saccharine world, and all of a sudden you really want to comfort someone. The plodding beat of this song does it so well, and I'm not quite one for mid-tempo songs such as these. I think that Lightbody's voice is enrapturing. Even though he doesn't have the greatest voice on the planet, the softness I think is just very soothing. The song is so soothing, and the guitar solo makes listening to all 4 minutes of it worth it. Once again, the UK's got it down pat with these rock bands. I'm excited to see more in the near future.
I'll be right beside you, dear.
Number 19. I had to put this one on the list. Speaking of mid-tempo songs, I'm not really making my case for my supposed dislike of mid-tempo songs, huh? This one, though, this one's a grower, and my favorite thing about it are the lyrics. Lyrics of unrequited love, my favorite kind as a teenager, and I still think my favorite kind today because there's something so strange and beautiful and tragic about a love that can never be returned. Although the guitar in this, especially its tone, isn't exactly my favorite because it reminds me of bees for whatever reason, the drums in this I think really take the cake. I just love the rhythm that they play, and when it gets to the build-up, man, just like the previous entry, it all feels worth it. Oh hey, it's another cool guitar solo! Can't wait for the best moments in every entry on this list to be the guitar solo, and if they don't have one, I'll just have to make one for it. I'm just kidding. Wait, They Don't Love You Like I Love You. Screw Treat You Better in every song of its ilk. This one knows what it's talking about, and that's why it's still beloved to this day. These tears are real. That means this song is real emo. But I really gotta listen to some more of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. You deserve to listen. Number 18. Remember when Shinedown were good? They played this one on the radio a lot, and it's for a good reason. I'm fairly certain that this is Shinedown's best song, and they couldn't possibly ever top it. And really, it's all because of the lead singer Brent Smith's voice. This instrumental's cool and all, it sounds pretty good for a post-grunge song. Okay, not all post-grunge songs are awful, but Smith's voice really sells this song. It's strong, it's powerful, it's all those adjectives. Why don't people talk about his voice more, seriously? Dude could blow a house down with just his singing. Like, dang, I'm a woman and even I don't think I can hit those notes that strongly and clearly, and I'm a belter. Anyway, the song is pretty good. Guns make for cool metaphors or something. Hope you enjoyed my pitch, haha, of why Brent Smith's voice is the best out of all the post-grunge men. But really, is that hard of a goal? No, doesn't mean that there can't be one, though. Number 17. Okay, so what about another post-grunge band? So this was originally on a soundtrack to a DC movie or whatever that people didn't care about, but I don't think people know this either. The song was originally an acoustic track on Seether's first album, and it was beautiful. This version, though, I think is even more beautiful, and the instrumentation certainly helps. The song is almost fully electric with orchestral instruments in the back at some points, and this song certainly deserves it. It's interesting because this song was also originally just by one person. With the addition of Amy Lee's amazing voice, I don't think you'd be able to tell because this song can be meant for one or two people, and that's fine. I do quite enjoy Sean Morgan and his strangely Vederian type singing. Billy's voice here certainly takes the cake.
'Cause I'm broken.
Too bad that these two didn't last too long, because I feel like their voices were meant to duet with each other. But alas, not everything gold can stay. Number 16. Obvious Blink choice is obvious. I had two choices, this or Down. Both are fantastic choices, but I think Miss You was the more obvious choice because it is the most different I think Blink has ever sounded. Is this song gothic? Gothic? Probably. The whole atmosphere is dark, and I think this is the only time I can ever praise an instrumental that sounds like it's on loop for basically the entire time, as I'm not a fan of those unless it's a rap song or something. This song is one of the very special duets between Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge, and I really wish that it happened more often. Well, okay, maybe it's not a duet. Maybe it's just them singing after each other. My point still stands, though. Maybe this new album will deliver? Anyway, we all know this song by heart. It's been memed to death. We all know why it's great. Hoppus's deep, haunting vocals and DeLonge's, most DeLonging and singing ever.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
Hey, I just had to. It's the most exciting part of the song. Some meme songs can be either legendary or annoying. This one is the former. Oh, and so is All the Small Things. Nothing can top that classic. Number 15. Remember me telling you that soon you will understand the Who? In due time? Well, it's about time you did. Understand their true genius. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hoobastank? Why on earth are they on here? Hey, sometimes simple is best. The chords are simple, the lyrics are simpler, but I don't care. This song is very nostalgic to me, and also, it's just a really pretty sounding song. Vocalist Douglas Rob's voice on this is a little whiny, but not nearly as whiny as the emo band's been listening to as of late, so his voice is pretty tame in comparison. What matters most, though, is passion, and he has it in spades. There's an orchestra in the back, too, and I love how it sounds when Rob's just wailing and the reason is you.
And the reason is you.
Honestly, this song gets too much hate. If you strip back the simple lyrics and one piano riff, you have a truly beautiful song. A song that can bring back good memories. That's why I love it, and that's why I hope you understand the Hoov now. The reason is you, Hoov. The reason is you. Shout out to all my fellow Hoov heads, by the way.
And the reason is you.
Number 14. Oh boy, have I been hearing this song a lot lately, meaning it's still very much popular today. I think Zoomers just really like this band, and that's great. As overplayed as this song is on the radio, and Mr. Brightside of course, and also just like every Linkin Park song out there, it definitely deserves it. Sure, the synths in the song are outdated as all get out, but it fits the vibes perfectly. The song is supposed to sound all 80s anyway, so it sounding outdated just sounds perfect. The lyrics in this are incredible too. It tells a story of a juicy relationship filled with betrayal or whatever. I'm not too concerned. The chorus is all that matters. Somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend has been immortalized since this song came out, just like with every line in Mr. Brightside. Brandon Flowers' vocals are of note here too. They sound amazing here. He definitely has one of the more unique voices in the indie scene. Actually, I shouldn't say that, every voice in the indie scene sounds unique. And it sounds great here. That's all I have to say about the song, really. Now the best part of the song has to be the last iteration of the chorus. To be honest, I don't actually think that I'm sick of this song yet. Impressive. That goes to show just how powerful the Killers are. Now how about that boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend? Number 13. And we all float on okay. This song this low on the list? I know, right? That's just a testament to how many great songs were released this year. It really is this brutal. I gave the album this song was from, Good News for People Who Love Bad News, a listen recently, and I just fell in love with it. I didn't think I was going to like it. I went into thinking that, but it turns out that it was great, and that giving it a chance despite my initial thoughts on it was a good idea. Modest Moths are approachable in that way, and I think that's what makes them so likable, at least with their one hit. Singer Isaac Brock's Birdian voice resonates on this track in a way that fits the song incredibly well. The track has a swagger in it that I don't think has existed since, Take Me Out, probably. This song is positive and affirming. No matter what situation you're in, you're gonna get through it. We'll all float on okay. Now that's something I want to hear today.
Alright, don't you worry, we'll all float on, we'll all float on.
Number 12. Good Eye Sniper. Coheed and Cambria is a fantastic band, and I feel like they should have been bigger than they were. However, it is kind of hard that the lyrics are so specific to the stories that the band tells throughout their albums, ones that normies would deem too nerdy. This song, I feel, is their most approachable and definitely one of their best, at least in terms of being a pop-punk banger. Claudio Sanchez's voice in this is as high-pitched and powerful as ever, and I love how it sounds. It reminds me a lot of Geddy Lee from Rush's voice, one that'll make you go, is that even a guy? I do appreciate the singers out there with androgynous voices, it really mixes the scene up. The guitar in this is one of my favorite aspects, too. It makes me feel like I'm in an early 2000s sitcom, and sometimes you really need that. I love that line. Definitely one of the best lines of this year. It's bitter, sarcastic, and everything I need in my pop-punk emo music. Bye-bye, beautiful. Number 11. Speaking of singers with high voices, what about a guy whose range is seemingly endless? The one-hit wonders, at least in the US, will end eventually, I promise, but please do enjoy them while you can. I honestly need to listen to more of The Darkness. This song is the epitome of cheese, and I remember loving it a lot when I was 16, too. The song is dramatic, over the top, all of the descriptors and more. It's a song to listen to as you're cruising down the highway during the early years of summer, wind blowing in your hair as you have your shades on with your boyfriend or girlfriend right next to you. And then maybe after, you'll go to a fireworks show together. I guess that's not really the early days of summer after all, huh? Those are the things that I feel when I listen to this song. Not an experience of my own, interestingly enough, but someone else's. A song that can make you step out of your shoes and into someone else's. I love songs like that. Those are the songs that make you feel things. Anyway, the guitar solo on here is fantastic. But of course I think the vocals are incredible. And although the guitar is still the best part, I just love when Justin Hawkins hits that super high note that is in just my range to hit. He deserved more of The Darkness, but America just wasn't based enough. Number 10. Oh hey, I showed this song in one of my first videos in the series. Talk about foreshadowing, huh? I'm not the biggest fan of New Found Glory, but when I listened to Catalyst for the first time, I was kind of amazed. While this song is your typical pop-punk fare, I also feel like it's a little experimental too, in that it actually sounds pretty heavy at points. And boy, do I love heaviness. The song's a little angry, a little frustrated, and it's perfectly fine because the song is called All Downhill From Here, for Pete's sake. I was never the biggest fan of Jordan Plundik's voice either, but here he does a great job. The little snarl when he says, "All I hear from you are lies," I feel like he's telling the truth when he sings that. This song isn't just a song, it's an experience, and the screaming backing vocals in it makes it even better. The song's title also gave me inspiration for a story. Any song that gives me that kind of inspiration, I adore. You're a good band, New Found Glory. You're a lot of fun. Number 9. Incubus coming out with another banger. From their 2003 album A Crow Left of the Murder, Megalomaniac also doubles as the first track of the album, just like with Nice to Know You off of Morning View. And just like that song, we've got a stone cold slammer on our hands. The song is the punkiest Incubus has sounded in a while, with some hand claps thrown in there for good measure. The song also has a sneering vibe to it, as singer Brandon Boyd is decrying someone for being the titular megalomaniac, clearly having a god complex and thinking they're Elvis. It's totally not about the president at the time, Bush, okay? The music video, though, really tries to portray that. I'm not always the biggest fan of political songs or political adjacent songs, but this one really hits me. It gets stuck in your head too. You won't be able to get it out for days. But sometimes earworms are good, because that means that the catchiness is working. A banger song by a banger band. Nothing much else to say. Number 8. It feels like a crime to put these guys so high up at the same time, but there were so many bangers after it as well. Ah well. Oh yeah, they're on the list now, and it feels so good to put them on there. This is, like I mentioned before, the best garage rock revival song, and I'm not taking it back or anything. The driving guitar and bass, the drums that just crush at the chorus, the rough sound of it, the melodies, they're undeniable. I don't care what anyone else says, this song is an absolute belter. The guitar riff is iconic. Who cares if it kind of sounds like a car commercial? It's the best car commercial song I've ever heard then. See you soon, The Strokes. I absolutely know you're gonna return. Number 7. See? You'd think this would be lower on the list, but nope, it's right here at the comfortable number 7. Again, fight me. I'm glad to fight back with my words. Aggressive much? A pop-punk song so iconic, even normies know it. Just like with Stacy's mom from last year's video, everyone knows this song and loves it. In fact, I don't think anyone dislikes it. Ocean Avenue is your typical pop-punk affair with lyrics about wanting to leave this town. What did the town ever do to them, I wonder? And spending your youth having fun, but this one, it's just a little different. And not just because there's an awesome violin in it. It's because there's a sense of wistfulness to it. Singer Ryan Key isn't singing about it in the present, but rather in the past. Also similar to the song Boys of Summer from the previous video, or at least the lore from which it comes from. This is similar to the All-American Rejects. Smart pop-punk for a slightly older crowd. A little bit sophisticated and a little more well-loved. And it deserves it. Number 6. Okay, so maybe Edge Runners inspired me to put this on here. Yes, that's correct. An anime influenced my decision to put this on here, and I didn't even watch the show, just the opening. But the opening is amazing. Although this is the original and not the Fire remix that was used for the show, it doesn't matter. Both slapped here and back. As you know, I'm a serious sucker for build-up in songs, and this one has it in spades. With sparse instrumentation in the verses, it makes the chorus all the more powerful. The guitars feel like they're being played deliberately carefully, like the protagonist of the song is trying to be careful about his obsessive love. And then, all hell breaks loose once it gets to the end. It's a masterpiece of a song, it really is. I'm so glad that Edge Runners brought this song back. People really do need to know about the underrated greats. I want to put this one on loop now. Number 5. I was gonna say Every Year Until You Like It for these guys as well, but oh, what the hell, they're one of my favorite bands for a reason.
Hey, did somebody say favorite bands?
Oh shit, it's Andy B from And He Drew Bees. Do you wanna, talk about this entry together then?
Well, it has been a while since I've talked about the S411, minus the 1. So yeah, totally. We're All to Blame was a pivotal track in the Sum 41 discography. It had the band further develop in a heavier direction, while simultaneously exploring softer musical territory. From the furious riffs and shouts of the verse, to the somber strumming of the continually evolving choruses, Sum 41 showed they were both willing and capable of developing and expanding their sound. The track has a great sense of dynamics and progression. But that being said, my favorite part of the song is actually the intro. It just kicks off the song in a really kick-ass way.
First off, this is definitely one of the best tracks of a Chuck, at least in my opinion. Sure, it does kind of rip off Chop Suey and Forest by System in places, but I feel like it has its own uniqueness to it that can separate it from those songs. My favorite part has to be, well, Sacrifice of course, but also the ending, because it just gives me the chills every time I listen to it, especially coupled with the music video. Another masterpiece by Sum 41. Once again, a criminally underrated band. Also, shout out to Fuse. I remember watching this on Fuse when I was younger. Number 4. Now we're gonna get a little serious. I don't see a whole lot of songs like this at all, and I'm glad because I don't think any other band could have handled the subject matter better than A Perfect Circle. The song is about a relationship where one of the members is suicidal and the other member doesn't understand it. So no, the song isn't saying everyone with depression is like an attention whore is faking it. It's the protagonist who is at fault for not understanding the situation. Again, it's a unique subject matter that I haven't seen anywhere else and that my 17-year-old brain just couldn't get. But now that I'm older, I totally understand. And for that, it's a brilliant song. The instrumentation is fantastic, of course, and I have to give mention to Maynard James Keenan's vocals as always because of just how passionate he is. You can tell that he's getting into character because he genuinely feels like he's sick of his partner's attitude. Definitely my favorite part of the song, and one of my favorite set of lyrics of this year. A masterful song altogether. Number 3. This one hurts. This one hurts because, like I said in the previous video, the only songs to make me genuinely feel anything are songs about unrequited love, when I was younger more specifically, and some songs by Taking Back Sunday. This is one of the songs about unrequited love. Although definitely lighter than their previous material off Iowa, but definitely louder in terms of production, thanks Rick Rubin. Vermilion by Slipknot holds nothing back with this song. It's rough, it's nasty, but all in an emotional way. This album, Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, tells a heartbreaking story of a man who is obsessed with his woman to the point where he'll do anything for her, and it destroys him on the inside. Oh, and he may have done just more than be angsty about it. I may as well just give up on trying to know anything about instruments here unless they really stick out to me, so I'll just stick to talking about the vocals. Corey Taylor's moaning on the verses showing us how turned on he is about the woman he's pining after, and then screaming his lungs out like he usually does in the chorus. It's incredible, and I think it's one of his best performances ever, just by raw emotion. The best metal song of the year, possibly because System of a Down didn't release anything this year, and possibly because Slipknot is just that great of a band. I think it's both. And also, Part 2 of Vermilion makes me cry the most. Number 2. So you've probably been wondering, where is Green Day on this list? Well, here they are.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that
I chose this one because composition-wise it's just a fantastic song, and I'll get into that towards the end of this entry. If I was a huge Green Day fan back when this came out and I wasn't 4 years old, I would have been shocked to see that they made essentially a post-grunge banger, and also pleasantly surprised. It's definitely a different direction from anyone that they've taken before, even more so I think than the ska song King for a Day that they did on Nimrod and almost the entirety of Warning. But sometimes you just gotta shake things up, and boy did they ever. Need I say anything more about this song? It's iconic. The echoing riffs at the beginning, which is such a cool effect by the way, and that anthemic chorus, suffice to say, Green Day absolutely knew what they were doing with this song, and they achieved so much with it. They're a number 2 for a reason after all. Anyway, the main thing I wanted to talk about with the song, the ending. The sudden barrage of heaviness that hits you, that feels like it'll never end but you don't want it to, and then it ends with those 4 notes. Amazing. And now, for our honorable mentions. Interpolar deserved of more love. Also, the video for this is really cool. Foo Fighters covering any song deserves to go on this list. This was so close to making it on the list, but some other songs beat it out. Whoops. A classic emo tune. Almost made it on the list, but there are some other songs off that album that I like better. AFI being great as always. Probably one of the best butt rock bands. Okay, this one too. If only for the dumb counting at the beginning. Linkin Park creating bangers as always. Also almost made the list, but I really didn't want this to be a top 25. Also, I think that Clincher is better? Maybe? I had to include these guys on here. My favorite song from the wide selection I had. One of Papa Roach's best songs, and I think it's criminally underrated today, especially for how high it charted back then. It's like Spiders by System of a Down, but slightly better maybe? And now for number 1. I said that Chop Suey was one of the most emotional entries I wrote, but I think this one is even more. Sometimes the number 1 spot isn't about how great the song is, but rather what it means to you, how it makes you feel. Sometimes the number 1s I put on there are in terms of sounding grandiose, but also sometimes a Plunket Jason song can really hit you in the feels. Sad, small, sweet, so delicate. We used to be this dying breed. I got a bad feeling about this, yeah, no kidding. Yep, TBS made it to number 1. So sue me. A Decade Under the Influence is a song, like many others of its ilk, about a broken relationship. However, this one is especially painful to me, not because of what my boy Adam had to go through, alright, maybe a little bit, but also because I have similar feelings about wanting good things to last forever, wanting to hold on to something till you no longer can't. And in this case for me, it's not any sort of relationship type, but of my relation to the past. It's a bittersweet catharsis of sorts. Sometimes you gotta move on and leave all the good times behind, although they can very much still occupy a place in your mind. The 2003 to 2007 iteration of TBS will always be my favorite, from Fred Mascherino's amazing guitar work and iconic backing vocals, to Matt Rubano's strong bass playing abilities. I don't know how else to describe it, lol. There are many good parts to this song, but I'd like to highlight two. Adam Lazzara sounds his absolute best here, which isn't a high bar at all, but just hear me out, no pun intended. My weird ability to see some voices, sees that bit is that Lazzara's voice is literally shining in that part, literally having a gleam to it. Another bit that I think is personally underrated, the bit where it slows down and you have time to breathe, close your eyes and just settle. And also in the video where the camera finally pauses and you can see the guys just chilling. Anyone will do tonight. This song will do tonight. And every other night for that matter. This is the best song of 2000. And if Mr. Brightside was on this list, then it would be a two-way tie though, because that song is just as great, but not quite this one. Taking Back Sunday's breakthrough hit, and a well-deserved one.
I got it bad! I got it bad!
So, what did you think of this year's list? Was it spicy enough for you? By the way, my favorite release this year is Decadence by Head Automatica. Please check it out. Best album overall is a very hard decision, but it may just go to 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance, who will definitely be on next year's list. Next time we go into 2005, which is peak emo and is actually also peak music. But it's not 2006. You'll understand in due time. Watch it.